Hello Virgo, Elsie here to do a reading for you. Let's get it done. How are you, my Earth cousins? I hope you're well. Thanks so much for clicking here. Let's find out what's going on for you, Virgo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. It is a 9-card draw this week for any of you who fall under that Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter sign. Let's find out what's going on, Virgo. And at the end of this video, I'll tell you about how to find the extended if you're interested in that, and about private reads. Let's find out what's going on for you, friend. In the week ahead, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, we've got the Four of Swords, we've got the Star, and we've got the Nine of Pentacles. It does feel like you have been spending time healing. I'm going to say it feels like maybe physical exhaustion, but also it feels like mental exhaustion. It feels as though you're trying to get your center back, like you have to get back to center. So if you're not healing or resting, I feel like that's coming up for you in the week ahead. The Star here tells me that there is something that you're hoping for that either has to do with work or money or stability or confidence. It's like this feels like a power up is what it feels like. It feels like you have to power up for something that is going to require you to be very much in detail, glean information. It feels like you have to be confident about what you're presenting in terms of data. It feels like this Nine of Pentacles is confidence, right? But it's also good reputation, eye for detail. It could be starting a business, but it also could have something to do with work. Tell me more. We've got the Seven of Swords. We've got the Six of Wands. Oh, I kind of like that. At the center of your read, the heart of the matter is that you're about to get some sort of a victory after a really tough time or after a hard cycle that you've been through here. We've got the Knight of Swords. Are you a speaker? It feels like somebody here is going to be speaking on money or speaking on how I built myself, how I got more confident, how I saved money. Maybe you're a financial planner. It feels like somebody here is about to give a rather aggressive speech about how I grew, how I changed my health. It feels like anything to do with pentacles, right? It could be material wealth, but it could be time, effort, energy, money, teaching people how to use their time better, I would say. We do have the King of Swords here. So you are an authority on something here, my friend. It feels like you are an authority on something that has to do with the comeback. It feels like the comeback or the bounce back. It's like, yeah, you're made of rubber here, friend. I feel like you've bounced back from something. And you have these stories of, that are teaching stories, I would say, of how hard it really can get, but how to come back or how to bounce back. It feels like you are a person who speaks from the hip, or you're very honest and truthful. You tend to say things that are off the cuff, but people like that about you. So please don't change that. We have the Two of Wands. Yeah, you're about to tell people how it is. I feel like you have enough information or data about how hard it can get, and how hard it is to crawl out of a hole or get a victory after hardship, after being lied to, after being betrayed. It feels like you made a big comeback here. Or if you're the one who's dealing in a hard time right now, I feel like you're about to experience the comeback or the bounce back. I'm going to say that it starts with a decision. You might be telling people, look, you have to make the decision to do something different than you ever did before, or you're never going to change anything. The Two of Wands tells me that some of you, if you're looking at this real time, and I'm talking about the week ahead, it feels like somebody's making a plan to do the bounce back. It feels like the Six of Wands tells me that people are watching or that people will be cheering you on. But of course, the Six of Wands is about coming back from the fight or the war. And when you come back on top of your game, right? This guy is on his horse, on the high horse, right? Some people will call you egoic, but look, I don't think you're supposed to worry about that. I think that some people will call you egoic, and those are the people who don't believe in themselves. So I'm going to say, keep saying it. Keep talking like off the cuff from the hip. And I feel like some people will say, well, you're just in your ego, but no, you're in experience is what it is, Virgo. You have a lot of experience I think that you're great at making the plan, but I think that it took a lot in terms of a bounce back for you to actually execute the plan. And I think this is you, not on your high horse, but it feels like you're in a better place in your life. People cheering you on because you went through some really hard healing is what it feels like. We got the Ten of Swords in the reverse. I feel like you're going to be telling a person or a group of people, I don't know if you're a speaker, a public speaker, but it feels like you're going to be sharing your journey about how to let go. Because when you hang on to resentment or you hang on to things from the past, when you keep hanging on to them, you can't change them. They just terrorize you. The Ten of Swords being in the reverse tells me you're specifically speaking to a person or people who can't let go. I feel like you're telling them, look, you could just hold up this sword of truth, and by just simply speaking the truth, you can choose to build yourself, build your reputation, build your finances, build your life, and change things. You can slip into your pre-empress energy, but you have to be brave. You have to be really brave. And the fact that this Knight of Swords is next to the Six of Wands, which is at the center of your reading, that's the heart of the matter. That's what we're reading about today. It feels like a comeback to me. I'm going to put down 2 cards here and we'll see what's under the surface. Tell me about Virgo. We've got the World card. It is a comeback. That's what it feels like. So listen, if you're in a hard place right now, Virgo, I feel like you're about to experience the comeback. Something here is about to go right for you. Oh, it's up to you. It's up to you, friend, to make the decision and execute the plan and go. There's going to be some things you're going to have to leave behind. But listen, you're going to have to stand on business. And you know, the truth of the matter is, 5 of Cups, you're not going to like it. Some of it's going to make you sad. To turn your back on people, places, things that don't agree with you standing on business, you're going to have to just let go of those things. And I feel like you're coming from a place where you weren't exactly happy, but I also feel like you'll feel regretful about leaving and moving forward. But look, you can't allow people to hold back your progress in life. And I feel like you are going to be telling somebody that, or teaching someone that, or learning that lesson in the week ahead. Let's talk about this star, because I feel like it feels like there is there's some mental healing, physical healing. You may be someone who is really physically unable to do something because you got hurt. It feels like you're on the comeback. I'm just going to say, if you've been unwell, you are on the bounce back now, friend. You just need to get your center of gravity. I'm just looking at this tree, right? It's like I need to get settled. I need to get centered. And when you do, I feel like this healing shows up for you. I'm going to say that your healing is maybe at the beginning at this time, but the Nine of Pentacles tells me you're on your way. There's no way that you're even going to stop from here. Let's talk about this star here. We've got the Three of Wands. So this is what's coming up in the future. So for some of you, you may not be going through this right now. I mean, you could be, but I feel like I'm reading for someone who is having a really hard time right now. I want to tell you that healing is coming, and it's very close. It's within the next 2 or 3 weeks, maybe the next 5 weeks. It feels like you're in a battle right now. If this is you and you haven't done the bounce back yet, I feel like you're in a battle for something right now. The Five of Cups is here again. And we have the Queen of Cups. It feels like an emotional battle for some of you. It feels like an emotional battle, maybe a bit of confusion going on. It feels like you're trying to have hope or trying to heal. We've got the Three of Wands, right? It feels like it's coming soon. You just have to make the decision, because this person has 3 wands, but they've already picked one. You have to make the decision to take action. Because you can do as much planning as you want. You can do it down right to the last second. Look, you're probably one of the best planners in the zodiac besides Capricorn and Taurus. I feel like you're really on point, but you can make as many plans as you want. If you don't grab that ace and put a propeller on the boat, you're not going anywhere, right? If you don't put some action behind your plan. 5 of Cups, it does feel like you are walking away. Look, these 2 pictures are of people showing you their back. That means I gotta go. Feels like you've got to go, and it's not going to make you happy exactly. But I think that you are going to realize once you get to this place of the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Cups isn't somebody who's struggling emotionally. This is somebody who's standing tall emotionally. This is someone who has wisdom about their emotions. This is someone who is intuitive and who is psychic. And this person is somebody who has a lot of love to give, compassionate and kind. And I think that no matter what you've gone through, you're still compassionate and kind. And that's sort of a special place to be, because a lot of people have hardship and all they do is they try and destroy another person's day with all of the terrible, awful things that happen to them. And, I feel like you're still kind, compassionate, and loving even after this hardship. I feel like part of this hardship for you was an inability to trust yourself, but also an inability to trust others. It does feel like you've become the authority on being lied to. You've become a bullshit detector, because that is the King of Swords. You've become a bullshit detector. It feels like the reason that you've become a bullshit detector is because a lot of people have lied to you. A lot of people have cheated. People you have fundamental differences with. I feel like the 5 swords that are here, it feels like we were friends for the longest time until we ended up showing up as a fundamental difference. Maybe we were friends for 20 years and then all of a sudden we disagree on politics and now you're my enemy. It feels like you learned to tell the truth, the honest truth, no matter what that was going to cost you. It feels like you have become an authority on the people who have things hiding, or they're concealing things under the surface. So I feel like you stopped lying to yourself. I think at some point you were surrounding yourself with people who you knew would be at odds with you, who you knew you had to watch what you said when you said it. And I don't think you're doing that anymore. I think you're in this King of Swords energy to say, no, that's not what I'm doing. Go ahead, leave me on the outside looking in. I would rather not hang out with you guys anyway, if you're not going to be truthful and honest with me. Yeah, it feels like you grew up, you got more stable, you got in alignment. It feels like you have become a bullshit detector, for sure. And you know what your favorite thing to do is, Virgo, I think? This. Just be honest and truthful, bring the data. And the King of Swords isn't meddling. The King of Swords isn't the one who's like chin checking everybody. That's not what the King of Swords does. But if somebody brings lies into the room and the King of Swords has more information, the King of Swords is going to say, no, that's a lie. You're just going to call it out. I feel like that is something that's different for you since you've come out of this hardship and into the light. I'm going to say, with the 6 of Wands here being Leo energy. Tell me about the Knight of Swords, because I feel like this is you telling people as it is. It feels like you just blurt it out. You just say it. Look, that's not how it goes. I can tell you, I've been through a lot. I've come from a really hard place, and that's not exactly how it is at all. It feels like you're making a really big change in your life. Ooh, yes. When you speak, I'm just going to say, be careful when you speak, because when you speak, you cause towers. You cause the energy to shift. Your truth becomes other people's towers. And so I don't think that you care whether or not people like you, because that's not what Aquarius is in. Aquarius is a weirdo, and they like to be a weirdo. They'd rather you didn't like them, because then they're free to live how they will. I feel like your words, the things that you blurt out, do cause shifts of energy in other people. But I'm going to say, I think that's what you're supposed to do. I feel like that's why you were on this really hard place in your life. It feels like you've had a lot of hardship in your life and you've learned a lot of lessons because of it. And now you're a truth talker. And if people don't like it, that's okay. You don't care, because truth doesn't give a shit if you like it or not. It is the truth, right? So we have the 10 of Wands here. I think your job coming up, not a job, but you understand that I feel like you've got so much wisdom from living in a harsh place and finally getting some sort of victory, that I feel like this 10 of Wands tells me that when you meet people who feel really weighed down with life, you just tell them the truth and it shifts them. Like, that's a healer. That's a healer. You really bring the truth and it shifts them into a better place. Look at that. Ace of Pentacles. You make them feel as though they're still capable of planting a seed and it will grow, that they can still invest in themselves. They can still invest in the future. Let's talk about this 2 of Wands here. Because although I don't think this is your plan, Virgo, I think that it feels as though you were hanging out at this place of the 2 of Wands for a very long time. You're a really good planner. You had all the details, and you can be the best planner you want to be, but if you don't put it into action in your life, your plan doesn't mean a damn thing. And I think that you know that. But you went from the 2 to the 6. And so in between the 2 and the 6 is the 4. I think that you got your stability first, and now you're going to tell everyone else the plan and how you did it here. It feels like you are coming out of a hard place, in alignment better financially, more stable, secure. I feel like you don't care if people leave you out on the outside looking in, because now you like yourself, you like your own company, you like to be with yourself. Tell me what this plan is here. Okay, so we got the Queen of Pentacles. We've got the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Oh boy, you know what you're saying? And if they don't like it, leave them behind. Cut them. That's it. You just got to learn how to cut people out. If they're going to disagree with your life path, if they're going to disagree about how you fought through the hardest parts of your life to get your victories and your successes, cut them. I think that's what this says. Look, I came out of it the Queen of Pentacles. I'm in my pre-Empress energy, shows here as well, and I'm sturdy. I'm stable. I know specifically who I'm going to give my time, effort, energy, and money to. And if you're not in that group of those people, I'm not giving you anything. I feel like you have come back from some sort of really terrible impact in your health, or really terrible impact in your life, or your money, or a job, or something like that. But it feels like you have the plan. You have the prototype here. We've got the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, and that's why I was saying, I think you're telling people, look, people who are breadcrumbing you, cut them. Go. Take a leap. Take a leap. Just go. Cut them. Go into the next part of your life, because people who are breadcrumbing you are always going to breadcrumb you. They were going to walk away anyway, Virgo. They just wanted you to beg a little bit. And I don't think you're into begging. This doesn't look like begging. This looks like somebody whose the sun is on their face. I've come back from the hardest part of my life, and now I have the energy to tell everybody about how to get their victories after the hardest time of their life. We're going to go into the extended, and we're going to talk more about this, because look at this. We're going to talk more about this because after you close the chapter, you leave it all behind. I feel like that is what you'll be telling people, or possibly you'll be getting up in front of people to tell them this. Bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups. Yeah. It feels like for the longest time, you're like, it'll get better. It's okay. They'll pay better attention to me. They'll come to my aid. They'll help me. And when you realize that it was just fantasy, when you realize that you're in this energy of seeing the potential in people who didn't see it in themselves, you got on the horse and you went. Yeah, you decided to dig yourself out because no one here was coming to save you. So I'm going to go into the extended. If you want to be there, that's where we will be. If you would like to be in the extended, or if you would like a private reading, please look at the top of the comment section. Hear my brain click. Shut off for a second. And please click on read more. You'll see all the information there. If you want to come into the extended, or you would like a private reading, please click on one of those links. Hypsee if you'd like a private reading. And I'm going to go into the extended. If you're there, I'll see you there. And if not, that's okay, because I'll be back. Because I'm always back. Take care, Virgo. Bye-bye.